This is my bedroll fully rolled. First, I'll show you how easy it is to untie and set it in a tent or on a bunk, and then I'll show you how I get it to look this nice. So on the end, I just have a couple half hitches. That was one. And then once I undo that, that's my daisy chain gone in a tug. That was a quick release half hitch on this corner. Flip it over, pull it out. So I happen to have a leftover or an old luggage tag on my bedroll. If you're going to a really large group camp, you may need to add a luggage tag like this, and if you put it on your starter loop, you'll still have it on your rope when you go to redo your bedroll at the end of camp. So I'm simply unwinding my rope. I'm gonna put it somewhere safe so I can find it at the end of camp. Undo it. If I've got a bunch of tent mates, I am going to coordinate with them to tuck the tarps under. Get it all open. And this is the head, so I'm going to move my pillow here. I've got my pajamas ready to go. I happen to have a couple bonus things in this bedroll. I was here this weekend in bunks, so I have a fitted sheet to throw on the mattress. And my bed's set up. So now to get it ready to tie up again, I'm going to squish out any air from my insulating pad underneath. I like to have my pillow in the middle. Any extra stuff that I'm throwing in, I'm gonna make sure it's even across the width of my roll. So instead of throwing in my pajamas like this, I'm gonna throw them like this so that it stays even all the way down. And again, same thing with the sheet and all my little bonus items. To bring the tarp over, there's two methods. If you have a big enough tarp, you can simply pull it across and overlap it. But if your tarp is just meeting in the middle pretty closely, I like to do it the way that I was taught to do tinfoil dinners, which is to bring the edges up to meet and then roll them down. And I like to follow the seam in my tarp, but that is just because I'm nitpicky. It is not necessary. And if your tarp is a little bit more narrow, this keeps it fully covering everything inside. Also, before I brought it over, I should have pointed out that I want more space at the head of my bedroll than at the foot, so that when I do my final fold, the contents are not squishing out the end. So I'm gonna spin it around this way, just so I can roll towards the camera. I want my rope ready to go before I start to roll, because I don't need to roll it up nice and tight and then have to let go of it to get my rope ready and have it come loose. If I have a valve in my sleeping mat, I like to squish out a lot of air first, tighten the valve, and then open it up once I get to this part of the bedroll. So I'm gonna keep it tight for now. And I'm ready to roll. If you are tight for space, if you're in a tent and the tent wall is right here and it's gross weather outside, you can actually start on your bedroll facing the end and roll it towards you. But I won't show that at this moment. Instead, I'm going to just start by folding over two corners, and my sleeping bag starts about here, so I don't need a lot of space on this end. To space my hands, if I take my bedroll and divide it in thirds, I want my hands at about a third. If it's a little bit wider, I might want to go like a quarter from the end. As I roll, I want the pressure to either go straight down into the floor or back towards myself. I want to be pulling it towards myself. And a cue that I give a lot of campers is to think about pinching your fingers into the roll. So your hands should be on top or in front. And as I started rolling, I hope you see that I brought my body up to be straight on top of the bedroll. So it's just, I'm passively pushing down with all my body weight here, instead of trying to muscle it from behind. If I need to readjust the tarp, I can kneel on it and give it a quick roll, tighten. I've gotten to my pillow here, so I'm gonna tighten my tarp. I'm going to push down here on the front, and I'm gonna lift up and over to get it over the edge of my pillow. And as you can see, this is where my fingers are getting pinched in. If you have a buddy, your buddy can focus on keeping your tarp straight while you roll, which is really helpful for embers or guides. Okay, so you can either kneel on it, or if it's really big, you can lean down a little bit more with your body. I'm gonna tuck this in. Folding triangles to neaten up the edges. Folding it over once, and then folding it in underneath. And this is where I tell campers to sit on your bedroll as if you are riding a horse. So again, you're using your body so that your hands are free. My loop was already ready to go. I'm gonna tuck it around, and I'm gonna pull it tight. So this side of the rope has my knot, this side slides through the knot. It's because the rope is coming up on this side. I want it to go back down that same side as I go to make my second loop. I do not need to pull it out and hold it here. I can just go straight around. So you can see it's already starting to spring out and get a little bit loose. And when I pull to cinch that second loop tight, it pulls it in straight into this H shape here. So I'm gonna bring the rope around the ends, which helps keep all of this in place. At these two ropes here, I want to go over, under, over, because if I go under first, I have to go under again, and that's twice as much work. We don't need that. And before I go to the next one, I'm gonna make sure that this is as tight as I want it to be. And over, under, over. The rope side's easier if you don't have a knot in it. And when I get back to where I started, I am again going to do over, under, over. It doesn't matter which direction I start, but I'm gonna go over a side bit, under where my handle is going to be, over the side bit, and I'm going to make a half hitch, which is the knot you use for friendship bracelets with this 4 shape. But instead of pulling the rope all the way through, I'm going to do a quick release where I just pull a short loop through, and I can use the rest of my rope here to make a daisy chain handle. So for the daisy chain, I am going to reach this hand through the loop, grab the rope, pull it through, adjust the sides of my loops, and do that again until I've used up all the excess. And then to tie off my daisy chain, I take this loose end, put it under this cross diagonally, pull it through this loop, tighten as much as I need to, and then I can do a half hitch or 2 if it's more secure. I ran out of rope, that's okay. And now I have I thickened up the rope so it's more comfortable as a handle. So this rope is something I can pick up, I can throw it. If it's in a puddle, the insides are gonna stay dry, and that is a bedroll for camp.